Right. Okay, we are now live. So I'll be working on this for a little bit. I'll have a little bit more time tomorrow because again, I'm going on a 4-day leave. Eventually, this shall get done. Just be a little bit patient with me. Okay, let's see. Where were we? We're on section. I think we're on section 7. Yeah, we're on section 7. Yeah, section 7. Okay, let's get the show on the road and work for like 30 minutes. Section 7 should be obsession as it's obsession as emotional survival, I believe. So I'll see later on if that's actually it. But we're section 7 out of 24. So again, this is going to be a long one. All right, how do I want to start this? Obsession. Okay. Oh, before I forget, I might sound a little bit different. I'm still working out brand new filters for this. I actually sat down today and was fucking around with my mic, so I should be sounding a little bit deeper. Again, this is still a work in progress, so just bear with me. This mic is actually way too sensitive. It picks up almost everything. To call it obsession is too easy. Obsession implies indulgence, choice, but Vira's fixation isn't chosen, it's survival. In a world where she was only praised for her utility, where identity was transactional. Bear with me, transactional. And as usual, I cannot spell when it matters. Transactional. And affection was scarce. Was scarce? Yeah, scarce. Katalina became Others. Dissociation. Yes. Just give me a second. Where the hell am I going with this? All right. All right, let's read this out loud and see how this sounds. To call it obsession is too easy. Obsession implies indulgence, choice, but Vira's fixation isn't chosen, it's survival. In a world where she was only praised for her utility, where identity was transactional and affection was scarce, Katalina became more than a person. She became a shelter, an emotional constant in a life that offered nothing else stable. And so, what others see as romantic fixation is for Vira a desperate psychological life raft. I like the analogy. I like it. All right. Okay. It's funny. Someone can see it as a hyperbole, sort of. Yeah, there would be that one guy that would see it as a hyperbole. Okay. It wouldn't be a hyperbole, it's legitimately programming. Okay, yeah. So, functional logic learned yeah, because okay, so that validation must be earned. Yeah. So yeah, it's not a hyperbole, it's programming. So emotional logic learned in isolation, that validation must be earned. Must be earned. If I can fucking spell earned. That love is nuts. Right. Long story short, Albion is a pretty shitty place to live. So her feelings for Katalina, hold on. Her feelings for Katalina, are not meant are not the drop. I hate longing so much because it's always awkward when you use longing in a sentence. Okay, when I was doing Tono's video last week, it was pretty bad when I had to use it for normal Akia because she longs for him to come back. It's awkward. It's very awkward, but I guess we can use it here. Bear the panic. Rip someone. Fail. So drifts. I am so cooking right now. Fates. Fates. Oh, we got analogies now. Well, we definitely got analogies. Fear floods the mind. Fear floods the mind. Mind. And what begins as longing warps into possessiveness. Possessiveness. If I can spell panic, possessiveness, panic, and control. Okay, let me just reread this whole section. Also, it is 8:16 somewhere else in the world, so I can take a drink at least. All right. So to call it obsession is too easy. Obsession implies indulgence, choice. But Vira's fixation isn't chosen, it's survival. In a world where she was only praised for her utility, where identity was transactional and affection was scarce, Katalina became more than a person. She became a shelter, an emotional constant in a life that offered nothing else stable. And so, what others see as romantic fixation is for Vira a desperate psychological life raft. It is not a hyperbole, it's programming. Emotional logic learned in isolation that validation must be earned, that love is not a right, but a reward. Her feeling for Katalina is not a throb of longing. They're the panic grip of someone afraid they'll vanish if they let go. So when Katalina drifts emotionally, physically, or through the attention of others, Vira's world crumbles. Her attachment activates like a wound being reopened. Fear floods the mind, and what begins as longing warps into possessiveness, panic, and control. All right, I like it. All right, that's definitely good. No, definitely good. Okay, where should we go with this now? That's still really short for a section. Okay. But it's never about power. It's never about power. It's about staying alive. It's about staying alive. The behavior. Wow. Oh, I'm so fat fingering right now. The behavior. Jealousy. Whoa. Even violence. Oh man. Okay. And even violence are not, and I quote, hold on. That's just for me. I'm not going to be that cuckoo for Kokobo saying that. No, it's not sadism. It's not sadism at all. So there are consequences. They are consequences. They are consequences of a mind, because her mind at the end of the day is just fractured. There. That gives it shape. So, in a way, obsession becomes a language. So, obsession becomes a language, a way of staving off erasure. Okay. Way of staving off erasure. So Vira isn't irrational. She's responding perfectly to a world. She's responding perfectly to a world that taught her that love was a test in existence. Okay. This is what happens. This is what happens when emotional starvation. When emotional starvation goes untreated, goes untreated for too long. I'm not going to be cheesy anymore. I've had enough cringe in this whole narrative that's been going on for so long, and it's still going on for so long. I'm not going to be cringy anymore. Okay. I cannot spell right now. The obsession is not a flaw. Not a flaw. It's the only thing keeping her from drowning. It's the only thing keeping her from drowning. Oh. Okay, holy crap. I don't even think we need to add any more to this section. I think this section's actually good being short. So let's read it. To call it obsession is too easy. Obsession implies indulgence, choice, but Vira's fixation isn't chosen, it's survival. In a world where she was only praised for her utility, where identity was transactional and affection was scarce, Catalina became more than a person. She became a shelter, an emotional constant in a life that offered nothing else stable. And so, what others see as romantic fixation is for Vira a desperate psychological life raft. It is not hyperbole. It is not hyperbole. So it's not hyperbole, it's programming. Emotional logic learned in isolation. That validation must be earned. That love is not a right, but a reward. Her feelings for Katalina are not throb of longing. Excuse me. Her feelings for Katalina are not throb of longing. They're the panic grip of someone afraid they'll vanish if they let go. So when Katalina drifts emotionally, physically, or through attention of others, Vira's world crumbles. Her attachment activates like a wound being reopened. Fear floods the mind, and what begins as longing works into possessiveness, panic, and control. But it's never about power, it's about staying alive. These behaviors, jealousy, and even violence, are not signs of sadism. They're consequences of a mind trying to hold on to something that gives it shape. Obsession becomes the language, a way of stopping off erasure. Vira isn't irrational. She is responding perfectly to a world that saw her love was a test and existence was conditional. This is what happens when emotional starvation goes untreated for too long. For Vira, the obsession is not a flaw. It is the only thing keeping her from drowning. Okay, how long have I been streaming this? 20 minutes. Okay, so we've talked. All right, let's talk about her relationships with other characters beyond Katalina. Jesus Christ. I love how complex this is, but man, this is tiring. Section 8 out of 24. Okay. Okay. So when I hate when that happens. Oh, I'm gonna do some cringy shit. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. So Katalina wasn't just the center of her world. She's the axis around in which her sense of self spins. Oh my, ew. Her sense of self spins. Oh god, that sounds so stupid. No, it's all good. When the world becomes a single person, everyone else fades into the background. For Vira, Katalina wasn't just the center of her world. She's the axis around which her sense of self spins. Yeah, that's where we're at. I can't wait till I start recording this. I'm gonna do my best not to just die of cringe. Okay. And again, I mentioned this before. It's not like she's compared to your average everyday yandere, your basic ones. Like Vira has other people in her life. It's not like a yandere. Like typically, yanderes are by themselves. They don't have anyone else besides their, and I'm gonna say this loosely, their target, their love affection. That's generally the only person in their life. But for Vera, like, besides all the craziness, the shenanigans, she has a lot of people in her life. Like, she knows she can build interpersonal relationships. She can have friends. She's, I wouldn't say a nice person, but she's personable enough that people respect her, and she can have decent conversations with people. It's just when it comes to Katalina, it just goes all over the place. So let's see. But what happens when the rest of the world, so Vira's this is some very dramatic ass music, by the way. Holy shit. All right. Beyond Catalina, weather. Luane, that's a funny one. Luane, the crew, Narmaya, or even yeah, it's fragmentation at the end of the day. This is literally what it is. It's fragmentation. This is the type of shit that keeps me up at night. Paint a haunting picture of internal fragmentation. That's what it is. Internal fragmentation. It's what boys. It's often hollow. Trying to word this in a specific way. Because it's funny, like, she can hold conversations with people, but her conversations with some characters doesn't feel natural, though. I think aloud to myself. Give me a moment. Okay. Oh shit. Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna be doing a very funny take. So, a very interesting take. Just bear with me. It's animosity with contempt. Yeah, it's animosity. Definitely with contempt. There's a lot of contempt there. Holy shit, there is a shit ton of it. There's a shit ton of contempt. Okay. So, yes, it's all right. I gotta just right. Then we'll go over it later. So, it's this is gonna be weird. It's not jealousy in a cartoonist sense. Oh God, I'm not liking this right now. It's like Rosa and Battler. It's like with Battler. Like there's a hidden animosity with Rosa and Battler because Battler represents everything that Rosa could have done as a child. She could have ran away from the Ushidamiya family. She could have did this. She could have did that. Everything that Battler did, all the rebellion, she could have done, but she was trapped within like the stranglehold of the Ushidamiya family. So with Lil Wayne, there was animosity and contempt there because Lil Wayne is straight up open. Which Vira sort of is. Oh man, yeah, this is. God, this is gonna suck. Okay. We'll think about this later. Let's just write what we got in our dome. Mirror. Wait. Frustration, admiration. Oh my God. So sorry. Wayne's open admiration. Sorry. His emotional, his admiration. He has open admiration for her, and it's like he has emotional freedom that she doesn't have. There we go. Okay, there we go. Holy shit. Okay, now let's word that. So Wayne's open admiration for Katalina. For Katalina represents the kind of emotional freedom. It represents the emotional freedom Vera was never allowed. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was annoying. I need a drink. I need a drink to that. Holy shit. Oh, man. It represents the emotional freedom that Vera was never allowed to have. Oh man, this reminds me of the morally great, the Samus morally great one. It's like, yeah, she's definitely a morally great character. Besides being the destroyer of worlds, she operates in a very gray area. It's like, sure, she does this for the greater good, but at the end of the day, Samus is a bounty hunter. She's following the money. Like, she's not going out of her way to be the good guy. She just happens to be at a place where shit's going down and she stops the threat. But she again, as a bounty hunter, she operates. She's a very gray. Okay, so we've figured this out. Where can we go with this? All right, it's a rejection of a mirror she cannot control. Luane's open admiration for Katalina represents the kind of emotional freedom Vira was never allowed. So, looking at Luane's personality, he's a dumbass, but I can't write he's a dumbass. He's foolish, very foolish, lighthearted. He's foolish and lighthearted, while Vira is intense and restrained. Okay. Where he is foolish and light-hearted, Vira is intense, restrained. And in that contrast, I'm gonna word this. I'm gonna be using a weird combination of words. Trust me, it makes sense. Possibility of play. Okay, there we go. Oh, god damn it. All right, let's just read this. We can continue on some more tomorrow. Let's just see how this sounds. So we did section 7 and we did section 8. So when the world becomes a single person, everyone else fades into the background. For Vira, Katalina wasn't just the center of her world. She's the axis around which her sense of self spins. But what happens when the rest of the world tries to reach out? Vira's interactions beyond Katalina, whether with Luane, the crew, Narmaya, or even Granda/Jita, paints a haunting picture of internal fragmentation. She speaks with poise, but it's often hollow. There's civility, but rarely connection. In these exchanges, we glimpse a woman who knows how to perform socially, but not how to feel it. To Luane, she shows something deeper, animosity laced with contempt. It's not jealousy in a cartoonish sense. It's a rejection of a mirror she cannot control. Luane's open admiration of Katalina represents the kind of emotional freedom Vira was never allowed. Luane's open admiration for Katalina represents the kind of emotional freedom Vira was never allowed. Where he is foolish and lighthearted, Vira is intense and restrained. In that contrast, the impossibility of play deepens her alienation. Yeah, in that contrast, that impossibility of play deepens her alienation. So, in a sense, the way I worded it was, Luane is the complete opposite of her, but Luane has the ability to be open about how he is. Vira wasn't allowed that. So his open admiration for Katalina is something Vira possibly could have had if she was born under different circumstances. Yeah, that's what it is. Yep. Okay, my head hurts. So good shit. Tomorrow, again, I'm gonna be on a 4-day, so we're gonna be getting a lot of this done. So we did about 40 minutes worth of good work. We got section 7 and we started section 8. We got section 7 done. So we're moving. We're definitely moving. So tomorrow, as soon as I have the time, I'll start working on this. And hopefully by the end of my 4-day, this will be done. Hopefully. Wishful thinking. Anyways, good shit. I'll see people later. Have a good one. I'll